Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Hollywood hypocrisy being on full display during these negotiations with the unions.
What isn't Hollywood hypocrisy on full display?
I was waiting for that. I knew you were going to say that. Yes.
Really? What isn't it?
But this is very, very telling of what these organizations really think, the unions and the studios. And we're going to talk about the situation with the WGA. So their own people are going on strike against the union as they're talking to the studios, trying to bargain with the studios. They will not bargain with their own people.
Yeah.
So let that, I mean, I know it's a hard concept to wrap your head around, but the heads of the WGA, which is the Writers Guild, they're meeting with the studios to get a new contract, to get a new deal in place. But they won't give their own employees the time of day because their own employees are on strike.
Yes, pretty much.
Make this make sense.
They were trying to get them to come to an agreement. The WGA was trying to get the WGSU, which is their union, people inside the union, to come to an agreement before this week because they didn't want to be a bad look for them going to negotiate with AMP-TIP. Well, they wouldn't. They basically, from my understanding, aren't agreeing to anything that the workers union wants. And things that were basic things that they themselves would demand, they weren't agreeing to, and so it didn't go that way. They didn't agree to it, even though they tried to force it. It didn't work, and they've been picketing outside of their negotiations all week.
That is just so deliciously ironic.
You need a flow chart.
You do, but then so then that's on the writer's side. Now we also have the Actors Guild, and we're going to bring this up too because SAG-AFTRA. They put a statement out saying that they're okay because a lot of people were upset by Val Kilmer being replicated to finish a movie he signed on to do, but he was too sick to do, right? And people were like, oh, this is ghoulish or bringing him back. Well, the family gave their blessing because he really wanted to do this movie. So they put a statement out saying it's okay because the family gave their blessing. Well, people correctly pointed out that James Earl Jones family gave blessing for his voice to be used in Fortnite. The difference is that SAG-AFTRA, I don't think, was involved in that conversation.
Well, they're not getting paid. Someone's like, what's the difference? They didn't get paid. Like, I think that's the whole thing was. They didn't go through the union so the union could take a cut. And they were pissed about it. We don't condone this because, basically we didn't get a cut. But the other one they got a cut of, most likely. And that's why that one's okay.
Yeah, and they were also pissed about the Darth Vader situation because they wanted union voice actors to take over the role of Darth Vader. And I'm like, nobody sounds like James Earl Jones except for James Earl Jones.
So why didn't they argue that a union member who looked like Val Kilmer take over Val Kilmer's role?
Yeah, right. Because they got paid. They got paid. That's what this whole thing is. Yeah, so just say the quiet part out loud. You only care about your actors and your writers when you're getting a cut. That's what this whole thing is about. You only care, and you're mad that the flow of spice is flowing in a different direction now, and the studios have a lot more options, but you don't even care about your own people. I mean, that's my thing. Like, why the fuck would I give you guys money to protect me when you don't even care about your own people?
No.
So...
It's a bad look.
It's a real bad look. Yeah, and you know what? We talked about this during the double strikes last time. We said this is going to do a lot of damage to these unions, and it wasn't coming from the studio. It was coming from their own people who are like, "This is ridiculous. Just take whatever. We got to get back to work. You can't just shut Hollywood down." And I to this day still believe the studios were playing the WGA and SAG-AFTRA because they wanted to cut back on production.
Oh, I think so too. I think they started out on purpose so they could push it past force majeure and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you all
played into it.
You all played into it because you kept your asks were ridiculous. In the case of the writers, they wanted like fully staffed writers, like 12 people in a writer's room for a Netflix show that has 6 episodes. Like, the hell? You're never going to use any AI for anything, and you're going to have to ask us for permission if you use AI for anything. It's like, no, fuck off. It's our money, our project, and no. And this is the thing. This right here could be the very moment between this and AI and people getting fed up with the unions. This could be the moment that the unions just are completely made irrelevant and you did it to yourselves.
Yeah.
You did it to yourselves. So we're going to talk about this. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
If you are a union member, either SAG-AFTRA or the Writers Guild, do yourself a big favor and Google FICOR, because you do have options, and some very well-known Hollywood people have gone FICOR, where you basically tell or give them enough money so they leave you alone. You're allowed to work on productions, but they can't tell you what to do.
It's pretty sad that you have to basically, pay them to leave you alone. Yes.
It's a racket. Come on, it's a racket, right? WGA West staff union calls management back to bargaining tables. Writers' first week of AMP tip talks ends. Enough is enough. This come from Deadline. They got their big Scabby the Rat, which, it's so funny. Like, did you honestly think they were fighting for you, little guy? Did you think they were fighting for you? No, they are not. They're not. That's what we're telling you. We're not bad people.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've been actively trying to get this. This is their very first contract this union's trying to get. They've been trying since September. Well, here we are in March, and they still won't, negotiate with them in good faith, according to the WGSU. But they're out there trying to get themselves a cushy deal.
Yeah, right. The Writers Guild of America West chief negotiator Ellen Stutzman was likely wrapping up her first week of talks with the Hollywood studios Friday afternoon when the union staff called her back to their own bargaining table. God, this is awkward. This is like being like a youth pastor and then going home and beating your kids, right? It's like
that's okay. That's a random
something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be like, you're gonna put on a public face of like, look at us, we're so whatever, and then you're at home you're horrible. The staff have now been on strike for more than a month, and they remain on the picket line as the writers union negotiates with the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers. In a statement issued directly to Stutzman, the Writers Guild staff union requested a meeting on Saturday, as is far beyond time to settle a fair contract. Per the statement, Stutzman last spoke with members of the staff's union negotiating committee on March 17th. They said they were disappointed it was not more fruitful. This is going to go on for a long time.
Well, they were just, because they wanted them to wrap it up before they tried to go to AMP tip, because they didn't want them striking and picketing outside where they were negotiating. And that's what happened.
Because it's a bad look. Maybe you should have, seriously, maybe you should have taken care of this before you went back to the bargaining table at the studios, because they're going to use this as leverage now. They're going to look at it and be like, you don't even have your own house in order. Why the fuck should we give you anything?
And they said here, like, WGSU accuses leadership of issuing repeated blanket rejections and refusals to bargain.
Same thing that they accuse the studios of.
Right.
It's all about parting. It's not about protecting it. Look, you do you, boo. You work in Hollywood. You want to make sure you get that next gig. You don't want to rock the boat, whatever. This is set up so you are monetized. They only care about you when you're giving them dues and you're giving them percentages and you're whatever. It's all about control in Hollywood, and they can't control it anymore. They can't even control their own house.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not going to go well for them. I think this might be one of the last, if not the last rounds of like major bargaining that these unions do, because they are making themselves completely irrelevant.
I don't know. We'll see how this goes, and then we'll see from that. I'm not going to make that statement yet, but I do think that they're losing power, and that's why they're freaking out, and that's why they're trying to stretch out into, we're going to go into podcasting, and we're going to go into the YouTube spaces, and we're going to demand that you have to be union represented in all these too.
Yeah.
Don't let them. Tell them no.
They did this with SAG-AFTRA. They're like, basically they said, we got to find more revenue, so we're going to start representing like YouTubers and podcasters. They came after us before. They wanted us to join. Basically, I think they shut us up so we didn't talk shit about Hollywood. And I'm like, no, fuck off.
No, that was before that whole thing happened.
That was before, yeah.
We weren't now.
Well, yeah, we had the whole thing, and then we were pitching shows and all this other shit. But it's like, I would never, if I didn't I would never join one of these unions. I would go FICOR. I'd be like, I'll give you your hush money, leave me the fuck alone, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do, because they want to control everything you do, everything you say. You weren't allowed to talk about the strike situation. You weren't allowed to promote any studio films or anything, even if you were, talking about a show you did 20 years ago. I mean, Zach Levi was out there at a convention. People asked him questions about Chuck, and he's like, I can't even talk about Chuck. It's been off the air for years. I could see it if it was a new movie, but you can't even talk about I was on the show 50 years ago and I can't talk about it because we're on strike now. That's bullshit.
Stupid.
It's bullshit. Said enough is enough. This is what they said. We are committed to an authentic bargaining process with both parties interested in coming to an agreement on what amounts to a standard union contract. Let us come together. Yeah, they can't even get a standard union contract for the union workers. What the fuck? Let us come together this weekend and work productively to reach an agreement our members can ratify. Our members would rather be helping you with the AMP tip bargaining, not picketing outside of it. Unfucking real. A spokesperson for the WGA West did not respond to Deadline's request for comment. This post will be updated if they do. In response to the previous claims of unfair labor practices, the WGAW has denied any wrongdoing. In response to the staff strike, leadership also has released an updated side-by-side comparison of both parties' proposals and counter-proposals, just like the studios do to them. Mm-hmm. And they call that propaganda.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know they get mad when someone does it to them, but it's just funny to me. This whole situation is just, the irony is just so strong.
Wow, they said not much has emerged on talks between the WGA and AMP-TIP due to self-imposed media blackouts.
Yeah, they're not talking about it. They're both not putting anything out there publicly. You'll hear about it when they aren't getting their own way, but, how dare the WGSU says anything when they're not getting their own way.
Yeah. So this is, of course, we have a lot of anonymous people because they don't want to get blacklisted, right? I'm in the guild, and that's a hard no for me. Ellen should be focused on the NBA right now, not on this nonsense. In fact, she's been too nice to these people.
Our union representative should be worried about getting me my biscuit.
Exactly. So I'm like, if you really are all about the little guy's out there picketing because they feel like they're being treated unfairly, and you're like, well, fuck them as long as I get paid.
Yeah, basically.
I'm just saying.
She should be taking things away at this point. Okay, same person. I'm in the guild. And what if AMP-TIP said, you guys are being ridiculous, and we're going to start taking stuff away because you're taking forever, and this is dumb, so we're going to show you little piss ants. We're going to take stuff away. And what did you guys do? When this went on, you screamed and threw a hissy, and we're like, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. And now you're telling them to do the exact same thing to their people.
This is hypocrisy. Yeah.
I know, it's hypocrisy.
Everybody knows there are fewer jobs, which means less money coming into the guild. Which she's offering them over $800K for 115 people in 1 year alone. In this economy, that's our money. The studios are going to say the same thing. Streaming revenues down, box office revenues down, and you want more money? Mm-hmm. They're going to say the same fucking thing. Do you not see you are the same at this point?
No, but even if they do, that's why they're anonymous.
Yeah, I know. At this point, take it away. Anonymous. I think the WGSU members have no idea how awful most of the deals WGA members have to take all the time for years.
I'm sure they do know because they help. They process the residuals and help with the negotiations. I think they do know.
We do more free work than you could ever imagine. Take the deal and welcome to the party. Oh my God.
This is good.
They sound like this.
Are more interesting.
They sound like the studios. You've got the writers attacking the union workers now.
Yeah, but then we do more free work. Well, whose idiocy idea is that?
Right? WGA is a clown show. Every WGA member should be questioning: If this is how leadership bargains with their workers, is this why we were on strike for almost 5 months? Are you once again being sold a false narrative?
Oh, damn!
Look. People came after us when we were going on about strikes. We're like, this was by design. The studios wanted to save money, and they used the strikes as a reason to do it. And these dumbasses went again head first into the wood chipper, and they do not have your best interest in mind. That's why if go FICOR, whatever. This is ridiculous. People are losing jobs now because these unions are being so insane. The guy who's the voice actor of Mega Man is not doing the new Mega Man dual override game because SAG-AFTRA slapped Capcom with a do not work whatever because they won't hire union actors. He was willing to come in cheaper. The union wouldn't let him come in cheaper. So now he's not allowed to do it at all, but he wants to do it. Who the fuck cares? If you want to work cheaper, but they don't want you to work cheaper because if you're willing to work cheaper, then they have to lower the rates for everybody else.
Well, and then they get less money.
They get less
percentage that means less for them. So, but when nobody can get work, you're a zero. 0% of zero is still zero.
That's it. So what's
5% of zero is still zero. Whatever.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is they're going to go out and just hire non-union people. Anyway, so the union gets nothing, or The worst case scenario is they'll just replace them with AI. There are lots of options out there right now, and getting mad about it and scream, well, the union's going to strike you. Fuck you. They don't need you anymore. Like, you don't understand. Back to that person's point, in this economy, yeah, they're feeling it too. They don't need you anymore. And you should be a little more open to whatever. I'm not saying, suck shit, but I'm saying your expectations need to be tempered.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that they have to meet in the middle, and I'm not going to argue that the staff union isn't probably going overboard too, because they probably are, if we're being fair. But I just think it's such a bad look when they're trying to negotiate theirs.
Former WGA captain, the WGA is nonprofit, not a large one. If you want to make real money, you need to get out of the nonprofit space. I don't know. I think their executives are probably getting pretty good money. If you don't want to be an at-will employee, you need to work for the government and join a public sector union. If you want to stay with the WGA, there are trade-offs you have to live with. The WGA West is not a nonprofit. You're extremely confused.
I was going to say, I don't see how they're nonprofit.
The Writers Guild Foundation is a nonprofit. This is a former captain, and he doesn't know that. There's currently no strike. There's currently no strike against the Writers Guild Foundation, which is a separate entity from the WGA West. The WGA West has $100 million in their bank account as of the most recently publicly accessible financial report. Yeah, it's the Hollywood spice factory, right? Like, yeah, they got lots of money, right? Oh, my God.
This is funny.
Others have already corrected you in the nonprofit thing. WGA doesn't have $1 million in the bank. That's assets, which is the building. Oh, my God. They're all fighting with each other.
That's okay. We'll just sit the popcorn and watch gleefully from the sidelines. Like, go ahead.
Oh, God. So this whole thing, too. So here's a statement on Val Kilmer. And this is what it's all about. Like, look, this is what it's all about. And I get that these studios will fuck people over if given the opportunity. Every company will fuck people over. Every corporation will fuck you over if given the opportunity. I'm saying I don't think unions are the solution. I think people need to be more savvy about their own personal deal making, right? Mm-hmm. And
or hire someone who works just for you.
Hire somebody that works. Yes. Okay. So hire somebody who works for you. The people who are the most successful in any space, they got their own people. If you're going in with a collective and you think that somehow you're going to be the standout, they're going to do what's best for the collective.
Or the people that are the clique in the collective, yeah.
The clique, yeah. The ones that are most profitable for them. They're the A-list stars or writers or whatever. George Lucas told the Writers Guild to go pound sand because they were going to tell him what to do, and he told them to go fuck themselves. Sylvester Stallone got to a point where he told SAG and WGA to go fuck themselves. Now, not everybody has that kind of power, but I'm just saying, like, you're going to have to be more responsible for yourself. And too many people want to look at this as like, I'm just like working a job at the movie factory. And it's like, no, you're a contractor, right? So if you want to put another third party in there, it's going to take a cut of your pay. But then they have deals set up that you gotta work union if you want to work at a lot of these studios. I think that's going to go away.
They're trying to put that shit in play in podcasting and YouTube and stuff, and it's like, no,
get fucked. You're not telling us what to do. What's going to happen? I think it's going to be. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be really interesting when the Ellisons take over Warner Brothers too, because I don't think they're going to. They're like, oh, we're going to pump a bunch of money into Hollywood, but I don't think they're going to play ball like the previous regime did. So I think. You really, as a creative in Hollywood, if you want to survive, you're going to have to be responsible for your own shit and have a backup, because the union, I don't think the union thing is going to last another 10 years. That's my personal opinion. So they put this out. SAG-AFTRA statement regarding Val Kilmer. They're cool with this because they're probably getting a cut. The applicable SAG-AFTRA collective bargaining agreement, as well as state law, requires consent from the estate to use a digital replica of a deceased performer in a motion picture. We understand from reporting on the AI digital replica of Val Kilmer for the upcoming film As Deep as the Grave, God, that's a terribly ironic title, that the family's consent was obtained.
It was obtained for Darth Vader and James Earl Jones, too.
They didn't get a cut. We take these obligations seriously and will continue to enforce strict compliance with both contractual requirements and legal standards. In other words, we will make sure that they pay us our cut for using Val Kilmer. Any use of digital replicas must be transparent, properly authorized, and fully aligned with the rights of performers and their estates. And people are calling them out.
Either that, or they're like, because people are harassing them about the fact that that this is an AI replacement. You guys said you weren't going to do AI replacements, and that was their statement. Doesn't mean they got paid, but that was their statement. But they offered a completely different, like, they were pissed about James Earl Jones.
Yeah, they were very pissed about James Earl Jones. Yeah, they're like, is this you? And other people, yeah, this practice will steal jobs from living, working actors that should not be endorsed by any union that cares about protecting the rights of performers. Chaz, they don't really give a fuck. They just want paid, okay? Well, this is what we're trying to get through to you guys. Maybe after the last round of strikes destroyed Hollywood for so many people, because remember, survived to 25, and that didn't work out very well, did it? Things are worse than they've ever been. They just want your money, man. They just want your money. They don't care how they get it. This is going to be the new normal. The new normal is going to be, what will allow AI writers and will allow AI actors as long as we get paid. Yeah.
You're going to have to, because it's not going to go away. And it's just going to be a thing that's going to be in every contract negotiation. It's never going to go away. You're just trying to minimize the damage that it's going to do, but it's not going to go away.
David says, you posted a statement for the sake of posting a statement, but really ended up stating nothing.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't know if they got paid or not. As a matter of fact, they're just like, well, here's what happened with the AI there, because we have to say something because you're mad about it. I don't know. But 10 to 1, if they're fine with that, but not fine with something else, it's because they got money in one and not the other.
They said you went to strike just for Corps to laugh at you and you do it anyway. That was supposed to be the big issue. The big issue for SAG was, we don't want AI actors taking jobs from working actors. We're going to fight for that. And they're like, yeah, we're okay with it.
Well, yeah. Their stance completely changed. I don't know.
Fuck them.
I'm
just saying, fuck
them. It's just a clusterfuck of epic proportions. We're all just sitting with our popcorn watching the whole thing go down.
Oh, my God. Our non-union popcorn. We're going to
enjoy non-union popcorn.
Non-union, unauthorized.
Scabby corn. Anyway.
Scab. Oh, God. Some movie theaters, some of them are pretty dirty. There's probably scabs in the popcorn.
They're not scabby popcorn. We're not part of the union, so it doesn't matter. We're not taking jobs from them, so we're good.
Fuck no. We're going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.